Casto, Isaiah Joyner, Rockwell, Chance Olson, and Group 4, Ryan Reese-back, Blake Riddle, Kyle. All right, we're back. Coming up, we've got Group 3, our third group of 16 today. This will be our last group before we move into the next round of 24. In this group, we have a very stout field. We've got Kyle Berkshire, Ryan Reese-back, Colton Casto, Ryan Gregnoll, Landon Gentry, Isaiah Joyner, Dwight Riddle, Hunter Knoll, Brian Kelly, Kyle Gabbard, Rocco Gondek, Ryan Winther, Garrett Williams, Chance Olson, Cody Albertson, and Jeremy Dempster. And I will turn it over to your favorite duo, color and analyst, Steve and Bobby Bradley.
Favorite one, too.
Hello, Mr. Coyce.
Hello, Mr. Bradley. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. How you feeling?
Well, I could be feeling better, but glad to watch this next set. We got some big hitters and great weather for it.
Yeah, it's been nice. The last couple days, starting to heat up. Curious to see these numbers here later on in the day as we go.
Yeah, it seemed like it turned mostly left for that second group, but now it might be kind of cornering and going down again. So I think we'll get some big ones.
Yeah, this grid goes west to east, and we've had more of a south to north wind, like a south wind. So it's benefited more of a draw, and we've seen it the last couple of years. There's a lot of guys turning it over now, which is not prototypical of lawn drivers per se. But, you know, we got Kyle Berkshire, the two-time world champ, world number 1 in slot number 1. Hunter Noel in slot number 2. BK, Brian Kelly, Jeremy Dempster. Thank you. Brian Kelly, a really good ball striker, a guy that's going to put a ton of balls in play.
Well, and Kyle starts off, looks like more like a golf course swing, but he got it down the middle. So he knows what he's got to do.
He knows he's got 14 sets. He knows that he's got to hit a lot of golf balls, and you know, guys that are going to be up in the 220s, 225s. It's more about ball striking right now. Kyle's not going to be necessarily worried about his speed right now. He's going to put more of a golf swing on it.
Got a really good ball by Brian Kelly there. I hope it hangs on. It was turning into the left side.
Yeah, Berkshire with a 93 on his first ball, and like I said, it looks like he's hitting a 45-inch driver right now, just literally smoothing it. And it's been higher as far as the bubble number. We had a 475 in the first group today in 500. Normally you're seeing him more in the 425, 450 range is the bubble. 16 hitters are going to go down to 8. It's a round-robin format. In the first round, you have 16 hitters. And round number 2, if you advance into the round of 24, there's going to be 2 groups of 12 hitters that are going to go down to 6, and then it's single elimination from there. BK, Brian Kelly, Kyle Berkshire, both at 393. Really like guys like Brian Kelly, Jacob Galladay. They're just going to put a lot of balls in play, you know. Maybe they get a win here and there, but you're going to see a lot of seconds and firsts from guys like that are putting a bunch of balls in play.
It's interesting, though, because Kyle it seems like he's taking that approach. You know, he's trying to do basically what those guys do more naturally, where Kyle is going to be filling up the grid here. Maybe not right now in this set, but he's just feeling it out. He knows what he's got to do to advance, and that's one thing that's been impressive this year is he knows when to tone it down and when to ramp it up, and then he makes all of his equipment changes to suit the conditions really well.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Hunter
so
like
right
that.
Now, Brian Kelly takes the lead at 406 yards.
Yeah, Hunter's getting amped up.
And I like Hunter's ball flight for a grid like this, too. He hits it nice and high. He's a guy that hits it not as high as a Colton Casto.
That's high. That's high down the center. Big ball by Hunter. It was kind of a Colton flight, a high little draw.
409, Hunter Noel.
Ryan Winther, slot 4, Garrett Williams. On deck, Colton Casto, Isaiah Joyner, Rockwell, and Chance Olson.
I think the 6th ball, when we see what that is from Hunter, that's going to be kind of indicative of somebody like Colton, 385. Wow, okay.
So Berkshire first ball at 393, didn't improve on that. Hunter Noel takes the set down at 409 on his fifth ball, and Brian Kelly just filling up the grid like he does always, 406 yards. Would you rather hit in Group 1, Group 2, or Group 3 if you advance to the round of 24?
Probably 1 or 3, because one you get a nice little break here. It's like 4 hours or 3.5 hours in between, or this third group here, you just kind of quick turnaround. You know, if you're in that second one, it's kind of not long enough to fully relax, but you're still taking a break. How about you?
Well, I'm so slow that it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'd rather just keep it rolling. I'd rather keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I'd rather hit in set number 3 and just constantly just stay loose.
Even in a longer format like this?
14 sets is insane. I mean, if I think about it, it just depends on how much energy. I mean, for me being slower, like I got to go full gas, nonstop. So I guess I would rather have number 1. But if I was at the speeds that some of these guys are at, I don't know. I'd rather just be in slot group number 3 and just let it roll.
Yeah.
You know,
I haven't seen Ryan Winther in a long time here. I think he was at Worlds last year, right?
Yep, he hasn't been out in a while. So you have the 2012 world champion in slot number 3. Please incorrect me if I'm wrong here. Did Winther win 2012 or 2011? I think Walter won it in 11 and Winther won it in 2012 because he did. He beat Tim Burke.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim. And then Tim came back and won it in 2013. So you got the 2012 world champion sitting in slot number 3, Landon Gentry, who's probably going to make his 13th or 14th world championship appearance.
And I think Landon, was he the runner-up in 12?
He made the final. He made the final 8. He may have came a semifinal.
Okay.
He might have got to the semifinal.
Got a pretty good ball there by Ryan. Looked like he didn't hit it quite solid, but a high straight ball down the middle is usually going to be pretty good.
So Gentry's the first one with a number on the board, and for me, Ryan Gregnoll, he's a guy that's I think that he has a chance. Like he's right there, as far as ball speed, ball flight. He hits it straight. Normally his mishits are just going to be pulls or blocks where there's not too much movement on his golf ball. So guys like that I really like, especially if he gets hot, he puts a lot of balls in play.
That's a good ball. Ryan Winther.
I said Winther is setting up probably 30 yards OB. Well, his feet looks like he set up 30 yards OB, if not farther than that. That
was just kind of a flat little baby cut into the back right corner. So he'll probably hit the hard spot and he liked it.
Yeah, I mean, Winther has always been a turbo cut kind of guy. Now look at his stance. He's more square.
No.
I remember watching him for the first time, being a baseball guy. My dad was, watching him. He goes, I don't know how this guy doesn't dislocate his shoulder every time he swings because he swings so hard. And you talk about, like, when he first started, the recoil that he had was insane,
Well, that's what they say about the machine for the testing, right? The machines can't decelerate fast enough, so they break, I think.
Yeah.
Like the human body can beat the machine in that regard.
And once again, we'll tip the cap to Jason Oradesky. I know this is a long telecast, so we say the same things over and over again. But Jason Oradesky has built a shaft that you could have a massive recoil, and it's not going to be, flying into the stands and what have you. He's done a really good job of that.
And it's amazing the versatility. Really soft ones, really stiff ones, and they're all holding up. So yeah, 404 there by Ryan Winther. That flat little cut into the back right corner.
Yep.
Big ball right now, 404.
Still waiting on a number from Gregnoll if he got that last ball in play or not, but he had no marks first 5 balls. Landon Gentry's at 384 and Garrett Williams is at 376. This is the third group. Third group. First round, third set. And Colton Casto is going to be here in slot number 1. Colton's so tough. He's been working a lot on his dispersion, not having as much movement in his golf ball right to left, but he is literally hitting a shaft. It's got to be the softest shaft on the planet. It's 188 CPM, so this is it's a spaghetti noodle, but I hit it yesterday and it flies so straight, no spin. It's unbelievable. And it's interesting right now, if you're looking at Colton Casto, he's teeing up probably a yard, a yard or more behind the tee box, just so he can get more footing.
And his feet obviously move so much. He takes that unique step with his left foot there that he kind of needs solid ground to step onto.
Did Gregnoll take that lead? All right, Gregnoll got it. That last ball in, 404 yards. So Gregnoll did get in ball number 6 there to take the lead.
Did they tie?
Did he tie? Gregnoll ended up taking the win there by about a yard.
What did Winther end up with?
Winther was right at 401, 402. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're taking a peek. I think Gregnoll edged him out, Winther by a yard.
Yeah.
So we're taking a peek.
I mean, it's hard to find conditions where a high, low spin draw is not good, but I think especially right now, if Colton can land his shot on the right side of the grid and just let it take off, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, him and Reed Russell, I've said multiple times today that they're practically the same hitter, but just Reed's about, I mean, you and Reed have very similar builds. I mean, how much do you weigh?
Probably 255 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Reed's probably right in that 255 range as well, and I don't think Colton's, 205? He's got a similar build to
maybe
Justin
220,
James.
Yeah.
Isaiah
right,
Joyner.
I think that's a ball in play for Colton off one. And if it is, it's going to give him a lot of confidence. He's one of those momentum guys. When
Yes.
he gets it going,
Yeah.
he really, really gets going.
Yeah, similar to, I said we see Wes Patterson that hit earlier today. Wes is a momentum guy as well. And I was watching his ball flights, and he was, he ended up doing really well.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys here that you always see, late in
There we
tournaments.
go. That is a good ball by Colton. That tight little draw to the right center.
Yeah.
Be really interesting to see what that ends up. And the wind is picking up.
It is. Right now, this is the type of wind that Eddie Fernandez got, and we're going to go back to those numbers. Eddie was almost at 220 ball speed. Spin rates were 1,400, which is
Wow.
a super low spin, and he hit it 118 feet in the air. Colton Casto, 409, first one on the board.
Yeah, if this wind holds up, you're gonna have to be in the kind of low mid 400 area there to be taking these sets down.
It's nice to see Rocco back. Best dressed again. He normally is the best dressed at every tournament. We said Sam Judah had the best shirt so far, but Rocco looking good. I know that he had some issues in Mesquite earlier this year where he was literally in the hospital.
Oh.
He had a heart something going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling pretty good in this outfit, but it's tame compared to these guys.
I mean, yeah, these new T-shirt companies they're trying to outdo each other. I mean, my favorite shirt that I have is like an electric flamingo and like a pineapple. It's just
How about
just
that Joker
random.
one?
Yeah,
That's
that one's
pretty cool,
good.
yeah.
Pens and Aces, they always do good stuff. We're actually going to see them tonight in Los Angeles. A bunch of us are going out to the PGA Memes event to play. Casto
Big ball
411.
here. Chance Olson just hit it big down the right side.
I don't know if Chance played baseball, but he looks like a catcher. There ain't a baseball ain't getting past that kid. He's got big old mitts.
Oh, 414.
There you go.
There you go.
He likes it.
It had to be, I don't know, 210, 220. It's for the apex, feet in the air. So it was high.
Yeah.
What do you think now? What do you think is now that the wind is going down more, what kind of height, what kind of launch do you like?
Eddie confuses me because that confused me. He hits it 118 feet in the air, hits it 441 yards. The conditions are practically identical right now.
The descent angle on that had to be like 35 or
Yeah.
something crazy.
So when we talk about descent angles, just think of it as like an airplane. You know how an airplane lands? Like you want your descent angle to be lower. You don't want it to be too low. That means you don't have enough height on your golf ball. But if you're in like 34, 35, 36, and you're putting up ball speeds of 220, and you got a roll grid, you're going to put up 440-yard drives. So there's a couple times where we could see these balls in slot number 4, and you're looking, comes off the face hot. You might get a good reaction from the hitter, but you kind of look at the descent angle, and if it looks like it's falling out of the sky, obviously that's not good. So those balls that do that are normally in between probably like 48 to like 52, 53. So guys like Kyle Berkshire can get away with 45, 46s just because of their ball speed, but guys that are like ball strikers in the 208 to 210, someone like a Brian Kelly, they got to be in the high 30s to compete.
And it was interesting too with Eddie's ball there yesterday. I heard the ball caller said that it carried over 400, maybe up to 410. And so with that low of a height, still carrying 410, that's a very impressive ball.
So we have to bring in altitude. We're at 4,200
Sure.
feet here. So we played at Promontory up in Park City a couple days ago, and first ball out of the gates, Eddie was like 211, 212 on the first hole. He hit it 440 yards. And it was just a smoothie. I mean, it was just go on lawn
Play
drivers,
driver?
watch the shot. No, it was he's using it as a play driver, but it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
47 and a quarter
Okay.
TPT shaft, just raw uncut. So it's not a long drive setup. And today you're seeing a lot of guys go more towards a Tour Series setup, being it like the Patterson, the LD30 Plus. The Tour Series setup is the 60D30 Plus. It's just raw.
Yeah.
Raw at 46 inches, put it in the head. It comes out about 47 and 3/4. So for me, I always liked hitting Tour Series setups. And today, like Justin James was hitting an Acura Tour Series setup. Still right around 48 inches, which is USGA conforming, but it's not necessarily a long drive
So
shaft.
then what's the real difference? Does it change the kick points, the weight?
You don't have to. It's raw. You're not butt cutting it. You're not tipping it.
Okay.
So when you're getting a long drive setup, you have more room to play with, where you could
Yeah.
butt cut it an inch and you can tip it 3/4 of an inch.
So I did a podcast with Jason Hordesky with
Yeah.
Kinetics, and
Yeah.
he is fascinating to talk to. And he was saying he was going into a lot of the differences on between shafts and when you should or when you shouldn't butt cut and tip cut, and it's interesting. He could tell you a lot.
Yeah, and I even asked him when I was hitting the 60D30 Plus, I'm like, what's the difference really? And he goes, I mean, you just butt cut the LD30 Plus instead of tip it, and he's like, you pretty much have the same profile shaft. But for me, I just didn't like doing it. And ironically enough, when Kyle Berkshire went 230.2 for the first time, when he put up the first 230 ball ever, he was using the 60D30 Plus, so he wasn't even using the long drive setup. So the only reason why I know is because that was my shaft. That's the only reason why I know.
At your studio as well,
At
yeah?
the studio. And when Martin ended up going 231.9, he was using the 60D30 Plus.
Man, all right.
So it was the Tour Series setup. And once again, we tip the cap to Jason Hordesky because, I mean, guys can literally
Are you
swing.
guaranteed to go 230 if you use that? Is that
I wish that was the case. So, and you also have House of Forge, which Justin James was using earlier today. He was using, as he would say, the old school Ninja shaft, which is more of a 60-gram shaft that's a little bit lighter. And I've said it before, and I've said it multiple times today, is that Justin's probably the most versatile long driver that can hit it high, hit it low, hit a draw, hit a cut, can change different flexes and shafts. And, not saying that the guys that are the best on the planet are one-dimensional, but he has a lot of shots
He
in
has
the
a lot
tank.
of shots that he's comfortable
Yeah.
going to. Yeah.
Correct.
It's nice to see here Ryan. Obviously, for people who don't know, this is his event essentially. He lives here. He's running it, and he's doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Then to come up here and start competing is nice to see. And I think he's got a big one in, maybe just crept OB, but it looked like a good shot.
Dwight Riddle ran deep in Connecticut a couple weeks ago, I believe. So Riddle's been around for a while too. Just a guy that's just always in the
Colorado
mix.
as well, yeah.
Yeah, or it might have been Colorado. That's
Okay.
what it was.
Yeah, that event was interesting because it was very conducive to kind of a spinny cut. Like those were the biggest shots, and usually that's it's a hit or miss shot.
Well, when it comes to spinny cuts, Josh Koch is the master, and I know that he ran deep. He won that one.
Yeah, he won that one. Or Martin won
No,
that one.
Martin won it.
But Josh hit the longest ball,
Yeah.
the record at 495.
Yeah. Yeah, the record being the PLDA longest drive, Josh Koch, but Scott Smith is the longest in a actual long drive event at 539 yards in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So
Big ball by Ryan Reese-back here. It's down the right side. Good bounce back toward the center. I expect that to be a pretty big number.
96. Reese-back takes the lead, 96. Riddle at 75. Gabbard at 81, and Cody Albertson at 84.
All right, looks like last ball here for Riddle. It's trying to cut back, but I don't think so. All right, Ryan Reese-back then beat his number with a 399, so he's leading right now. And it looks like he's going to be taking this set. All right, so the hometown favorite winning his first set. That's not always nice.
Yeah, he said he was going to cheat to win this thing. That's what he said.
Well, I think he's got his whole family down grid.
Oh yeah, he's got the people in the grid. He's got ball calling, all of the above.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure one of his sons got hit in the back of the neck by a ball earlier.
Oh no, we heard a grid caller did get hurt or get hit.
I think he's okay, but it was it's always a little scary to see that.
Yeah, getting hit with the golf ball doesn't feel good. I actually got hit by a golf ball at the Open Championship this year.
Well, that's actually a good thing, right? We count that as kind of like a little award prize there.
I had the fortunate opportunity to be hanging out there watching the DeChambino banging around a little bit, and
Did he hit you?
No.
Oh.
I was just shooting some content, and then got to walk the last 7 holes, and he's like, "You having fun?" I'm like, "Dude, come on," I mean, I got to walk inside the ropes of the home of golf for the 150th Open Championship. And I just had free reins to do whatever, and he was playing at that time with Zach Johnson and Brian Harmon. Just fun to watch those guys prepare for a major championship, let alone just a PGA Tour or Live Tour event. So much fun. But, yeah, we're on hole number 18, and they're all signing autographs, and everybody's taking pictures, and I'm just standing on the left side of the green and got hit by a guy. I can't remember his first name, but it was Mr. Fox. We'll just say Mr. Fox hits me in the foot. And thank God it hit me in the foot, because I think his ball would have gone – out of the stadium, per se. He would have hit it through. So I saved him, and he got up and down for birdie in the practice round, which was pretty good. But, yeah, I got hit in the foot. That was cool. That was awesome. And, to be able to be inside the ropes of a major championship and just to see how these guys prepare, it's unbelievable. And I think the coolest story, well, there's a couple stories. Bryson hit a 6-iron that carried 240 and rolled out to 305. And then every single guy on the road hole got over on the side of the road hole up against the back wall, and they're all hitting all different types of shots with wedges. These guys are disgusting. Like, they literally, Zach Johnson hit 4 different types of wedge shots, Bryson hit, and they make it look so easy.
Yeah.
And here I am, I'm like, I think I'm going to putt this, over. I don't even know how I'm going to keep this on the green.
It had to be cool to see those guys, because you've got, probably the longest hitter out there, Bryson.
Yeah.
And then you've got Brian Harmon and Zach Johnson, who are not known for their length,
yeah,
but they're so good in a variety of other aspects. It must have been cool to see that, huh?
It was just the strategy, like how locked in they were in the shot, not necessarily walking out. They're, everybody's just talking about whatever they want to talk about, per se. But when they're standing on the tee box and they're going through, where are we going to start this at? What am I looking for? Where do I need to land it? Like, it was unbelievable. Like, even Bryson had Connor, who's his business manager, out there looking to see where these balls are landing.
I think that's the biggest area of improvement for most of us in long drive, is that focus on what exactly it is that we're doing on each shot. And then, forget about it. Go do whatever. You got a few minutes in between your sets, and then come back in extreme focus for that short period of time.
But for me, watching the guys on the putting green, that was insane. And let's get back to the action real quick. And a lot of people just think that these guys, on long drive, are just getting up there and just swinging, and it's far from that.
All right, we got a good ball here by Cody. Kind of a flat shot down the right side.
Isaiah Joyner in the lead right now at 398 yards. Brian Kelly at 388. Here in slot number 4. BK just a master of ball striking. A guy that's going to be 206 to 208.
Yeah, it might have turned over. That could be in. That could be a good one.
Brian flights it so well.
It's that Brian Kelly flight, that low runner.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan Gregnoll's trying to put it together here.
Yeah, and it's kind of struggling here the first couple sets, and Costello struggled the first couple sets, but ended up getting one ball in play that was good enough.
Yeah.
And then Costello got hot the last 3 sets, and I wouldn't be surprised. Costello can win this tournament, no doubt.
Yeah, it's nice to see him back, huh?
Yeah, he took a lot of guys took 3 years off.
Yeah. Oh, another good ball by Cody. That's down the left side this time. It's a lot of hang time. We'll have to see in the bounce.
Gregnoll resetting, which I like to see reset. He's just got a great base. Taking his time here.
I never saw that, but I don't think he liked it.
All right, so Gregnoll still working on a number here.
Gregnoll, last ball needs us in play. Another good strike by Brian Kelly. And
Gregnoll goes
unfortunately, Gregnoll does not like that.
And something that I'm noticing from Greg right now is that he's lifting up that left foot a little bit, which I haven't seen too much. And it almost looks like the ground's not flat where they're at, per se, because these guys have been hitting in the same spot. And Colton Casto did back up just about a yard. And it looked like Gregnoll, with him picking up that left foot and dropping it back down, he's landing that left foot on not an even surface. So he trains a lot indoors.
Yeah.
The conditions are the same indoors, always. So that could be an issue.
Definitely towards the first slot for sure, and then the second slot. But that first one, I know Ryan was in the second one, but the first one you have to move it around and try to find the flattest footing that you can.
Isaiah Joyner, 398. Brian Kelly putting on a clinic. He hit 5 balls in play at 3, and his longest one was 398. His shortest one of that set was 382. So, like I said, just putting on a ball striking clinic. And Cody Albertson at 385.
That's got to be the best set of the day so far.
Yeah. But yeah, Brian Kelly just doing what he does best. I liked with the World Championships. I know it wouldn't be popular in the Open division, but the ladies division at the World Championships, they got to hit 3 balls in play.
Yeah.
I really like that structure. I really do.
I've given a lot of thought to different format options. I think that's going to be really cool for the ladies division. Maybe for the Open division, 2 balls, like a 2-ball average would be good. But something would be fun. Yeah, that's right. You can't go. So you have like 2 sides, right? The longest ball of the day would be one thing. Whoever hits the longest ball would be the winner. And on the other side, it's whoever hits the most in, the highest average. So trying to find the best format to, accommodate both of those things.
And the one thing that has changed over the last 4 or 5 years is everybody on the tee box. So the wind can shift really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's really nice that everybody that's on the tee box, they're just competing against those guys, and you don't have to worry about someone behind you or in front of you with the wind changes.
I think we had a good shot there by Kyle. I saw it going down the right side, but I couldn't see it land. Well, Colton's hitting that high flat draw. I think that one's going to creep out left, but it'll be close. All right, we got a good ball down the middle for Jeremy.
All right, so we got Landon Gentry in slot 1, Colton Casto, and 2, Jeremy Dempster and Kyle Gabbard. Kyle Gabbard is the amateur world champion.
Colton shots are going just out left.
Jeremy Dempster is the first one to have numbers on the board at 342 yards.
And Kyle right there following up, 386.
Now Kyle with a more narrow stance, and but really fast. There's a lot of pink on the tee box here. But Landon Gentry still trying to find a mark. Right now we don't have much on the board as of yet from Colton Casto. He's looking back at the board as well, but nothing has been updated. But this is really nice that we have the numbers in front of us, especially during these rounds. Shout out to Fortify as well for their wireless entertainment and whatever. Who knows? See, they can explain it better than me. They do a lot. Fortify does a lot, and at the end of the day, we're not able to go live without them.
All right, looks like
we don't need to do dial-up.
Looks like Holden's last ball was low but down the middle, so at least he got a number.
Gabbard's fast. He does. They said very tall as well, long and lanky.
The kit monitors, is that what they call that?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the full swing or something else. You would know better. You do podcasts. You need to know this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just need to know.
I recently started using the Mevo Plus, and it's been great for my preparation. My speeds are definitely up today. I put out of 30 balls like 3 in the grid, which is awful, but
you look good though. I mean,
thanks.
Yeah, I mean you really did it. It was really hard seeing the ball in the
A
morning.
little shout out to Bad Birdie. I think that's why I
There you
look
go.
good. But
But where were your misses left?
yeah, they were all going left.
Yeah, no, that's what I could tell from the tee box. And a lot of times, what happens, you get in competition. It doesn't matter how much expertise you have. When you get in competition, you swing harder, and like normally baseball players or whatever, you pull left. So you have to make a little bit of adjustment. And
Yeah.
for you could have just maybe just
think
aimed
it's
about 10 yards right OB with a little bit of a pull.
Yeah, I think that would have been the play. Unfortunately, I didn't make the change, but it's I am actually happy about the progress. I like the. I don't know what these range balls are, but the ball speeds for me were about like 210, 211.
Yeah.
And with the range ball, I'd say that's pretty good. Then to come over here, and I don't know what they were, but I'm sure it's higher.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, your swing looked nice and intact. But yeah, sometimes you just it's tough to make an adjustment, especially when you practice so much and you know your ball flight and you know what you have a game plan, and it's tough to like, all right, I'm doing something a little bit different. And a lot of the times it's just adrenaline and getting your hands to set at the top of the getting your hands to set at the top of the backswing is the most important thing, and then you can kind of direct your hands where you like them to go. But
like part of it, halfway through, I thought about putting in, and at the end I did put a little lead tape on the toe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, well, okay, I practice all the time without it. I
Yeah.
know that if I just do things right, it's not going to go left. So do I want to change it? Do I not want to change it? Because then you change it, and then you hit some balls OB right. So it's that battle going back and forth in your mind.
all right, so Colton Casto ended up taking the set there, 410 yards.
All right, hometown, the big deal. Ryan Reese-back back up on the tee.
To recap, 16 guys have already made it to the round of 24. You have 16 hitters, and the last group of this round robin of 48 total hitters. 8 guys are going to advance to get into the round of 24. They will have 2 groups of 12 hitters. 6 guys will advance from each group. Then it will be single elimination. In the round of 12, they will have 4 groups of 3 hitters. Top 2 advance to get to the round of 8. They will have 2 quarterfinal matches. 2 guys will come out of each quarterfinal to the semifinals. 2 guys will make it out of the semifinals to the finals. 14 rounds of hitting if you want to win this championship today. First place is $500 trillion. It's the highest purse in the history of any sport.
Yep.
It's a lot of money.
I think that's one of the best formats that we've seen so far. The more hitting gives the opportunity for people who are going to be more consistent hitters to kind of rise to the top. But then also when you get to the final 8, it's basically a couple shootouts, and that's both exciting and fair.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's really when, like I said, the pressure, the guys like Justin James and Kyle Berkshire really, really, truly thrive. And that's why they have, multiple world championships, 3
Exactly,
combined. All right, let's take a peek here. Hi, Mitchell. Mitchell Michael Dobbin. Bry Roberts, hello. I've got one more year until Bry comes over here. Got to hang out with him in Scotland and walk with the DeChambino. Bry, good to see you. Aaron Mansfield, hello. All right, we got some studs in the chat right now. Aaron Mansfield, stud, a guy that has seen the Final 8 at the World Championships multiple times as well. And if you guys need your cards graded or any type of baseball card, Pokemon, whatever, you call Aaron Mansfield. He'll take care of you. He took care of me. I had 192 cards graded.
Wow.
Yeah, and he can get it expedited.
I might have to do that. I moved a little while ago, and I found a big box of cards from when I was a kid.
Yeah. I ended up finding a mint tin Honus Wagner card. Went for, you guys know that was like the most expensive card of all time. But I think Mike Trout, he might have stole the show there. That $4 million one. Aaron, you can tell us about it. But right now we got Hunter Noel, Ryan Reese-back, Garrett Williams, and Rocco. And slot number 4, Rocco, just looking like a stud. He's got the Viper glasses. He's got the camo hat backwards. He's got the American flag shirt. He's got the bird dog shorts.
Under his shorts.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
The guy's such a...
All right. Garrett liked it.
Hunter Noel hits it nice and high.
What do you think? So people sometimes will yell after a ball out of anger, like it goes OB, and but they're like, oh, or yeah, or no.
Yeah.
Versus,
there's a lot of Yanos.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is it more often in play or out?
Normally the Yanos are like I hit it dead in the center of the face and I just pulled it left and stay in play. Like you
Yeah.
pray that it stays in, even though you know psychologically the ball's going OB, but you want it to go back in even though it's not going to go back
Maybe
in.
hit a ball caller and bounce back in or something.
Yep. Always your hardest hit balls are your pulls left. What feels the best. Whether they go far or not, you don't know, but. And we talked about the response to the hands. Like, how do you feel like this golf ball gives you a response to the hands? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
I like it. We'll be switching here for
Yeah.
the next event, but I like this. The bomb I think is a good ball, especially with the heads that I've been hitting and the different kinetic shafts. It feels good to me. It feels kind of like what I would expect for a long drive club. It's not too different from if I go out to play regular golf. What it feels like, right?
Are you allowed to disclose the golf ball at the World Championships, or are we not allowed to disclose it? Not we, being I have no idea.
That's
Are you using a
good
wiffle
question.
ball? Are we using a wiffle ball?
I think it's one of those foam ones because we're going to do it inside.
Well, you heard it first. Highly classified. Well, it's going to be one of the major manufacturers. It's going to either be Titleist, Bridgestone, Callaway, Trixon. I have no idea. Pinnacle.
It'll be a good ball, though. I'm sure of that.
It'll be a golf ball.
So there we go.
with
Last
dimples.
set. We finally got a number here for Ryan. So Hunter Noel took the set with 388, Ryan Reese-back 387, Rocco Gondek 367, and Garrett Williams with 363.
That's 2 W's for Hunter Noel. And it's got to be a confidence booster, too, him winning the first set, going up against Kyle.
Sure.
And Reese-back at 387. He's going to have 300 points. So I don't understand why his kids out in the grid didn't throw an extra yard farther in front of Hunter Noel. So we're going to have to get with them.
Yeah,
They might
right.
be in timeout later. So
So what are you seeing here? Because the numbers are dropping a little bit. The wind feels like it died right now,
yeah, there's nothing.
but
nothing.
I can't tell down grid. I can't tell if it's blowing down there or not.
Kyle's still going with a Tour Series setup, it looks like. You know what?
This will be good. We'll see a little.
I'm going to do
horsepower
my
here between-
YouTube or Instagram thing, dear. I'm going to go 3X mode on Ryan Winther. This swing is awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna see some horsepower in this set.
I just can't wait to hear the comments when I post this. They're going to be like, this guy definitely dislocates his kneecaps and every one of his shoulders. He's a monster.
He is. And honestly, I don't think he would care if he dislocated him, as long as he hit it good.
Just as long as he gets it on camera.
All right, Dwight Riddle, Kyle Berkshire, Chance Olson, and Ryan Winther. Got the baseball follow through.
He had the baseball. I'm posting that one. That was unbelievable. That was sick. Even if he hit a good ball, I don't even care where that
Yeah,
one went. In
yeah.
3X slow-mo, that is going to look phenomenal. Look at this. Boom.
Nice. Well, the one-handed follow-through was 375, so not his best, but it's a ball in play.
Kyle stuck it. So he stuck the finish. Once again, looks like he's using right around a 45-inch shaft, probably 45, maybe even a 46-inch. And he's hit a lot of balls the last couple weeks. You know, really, truly has. You know,
I mean,
trying
that's
to,
what he does. Like, he does better with that higher volume.
Mhm.
I was talking to him, again, on the podcast, to mention it again, and he doesn't really work out a whole lot, but he hits a ton of golf balls, and that's his exercise.
I know his focus the last couple month is trying to put on a little bit more weight. He said that he's always kind of competed, right around 200 pounds, but right now he's right around 215.
Yeah,
and
you
the
can
set,
see he's bulked up some.
So right now, Chance Olson is in the lead at 415 yards. Mr. Berkshire's working on a number as of right now. Riddle doesn't have a number.
It's a big ball right now. You got the last few sets. Is wind dying down? Ooh, aggressive swing there.
Curious to know Chance Olson's background. I said he looks like he's a baseball player.
Yeah. He's not doing the one-handed follow-through though.
No.
Just Ryan Winther.
Ooh,
Oh,
massive recoil there too.
yeah, that's like a three-quarter swing for Kyle.
Mhm. Yep.
I wonder.
413.
I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder if he's thinking because I don't even think he got to parallel on that one.
No, he didn't. He didn't. 413. Interested to see, like, as he's down to his last ball, if he's going to start stepping on the gas here.
So it looks like that'll be an interesting set. Chance Olson looks like he's going to take it at 415. Kyle's in at 413, but he's staring down the grid. He might have caught that last one good. And then Dwight Riddle at 379, Ryan Winther at 375.
That last ball Kyle hit with OB.
Yeah. I'd like to see a video of Ryan Winther face on versus Kyle. The shoulder turn difference has to be ridiculous. It looks like Ryan Winther's barely turning his shoulders, but his arms are just so powerful. And then Kyle has, 130 degrees of shoulder turn. A lot of different ways to get it done, huh?
Absolutely. I was thinking about it today, and I finally thought it was Landon calling. Landon was 5'7", 150 pounds, came in third in the world in 2008. And like I said, size, it's so different. Yeah. And you can explain it much better than I can. Why can someone at 5'7", 150 pounds have the same type of club speed or ball speed or what have you as someone like, let's say, a Mike Dobbins, 6'8", 6'9", 300 pounds?
Yeah, it's fascinating to look at the differences. And when you look, so I guess there are 3 different ways that you can create a lot of force in your swing. If you're more of a vertical, like you're pushing down a lot, I would imagine Justin James creates a lot of the vertical ground force. You can be rotational or you can be kind of translational sideways. And maybe that's part of it, that one person is just really good at that. But I have to think that fast twitch muscle fiber, if you're predisposed to have more fast twitch muscle fibers versus a slower twitch, like if you're super strong, like I don't know Ryan Winther, but I would imagine that he's super strong and maybe not the fastest in terms of fast twitch muscle fibers, and then contrast him with Kyle, because they were both up on the tee there. Kyle's not the strongest guy, but he's super fat. Well, the fastest. Yeah. So it's got to be the fast twitch versus slow twitch fibers, and then how you create speed using those different fibers, because there are different ways of doing it.
This is where we need Jay-Z. I just say, kinetic sequencing. I try to sound all sophisticated, but for me, it was always, I had to think in baseball terms, and they always say, pitchers are good golfers. It's because they have more time off, but it's the sequencing. And for me, like when I started thinking in baseball terms, I was hitting it significantly better in long drive. And funny enough, 2008, Lance Reeder said something to me that translated to think fastball, hit fastball. So I was thinking fastball, but I was getting a changeup, so my weight transfer, I was late. My hands were late. I was hitting high and rights. I didn't go OB for 12 years. And I that was the only thing I ever thought about. Think fastball, hit fastball. So I was,
Did you pitch right-handed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you feel like your right hand was active in your swing, or do you now?
I felt like my hands were late. I was drifting. So like, if you're sitting on a fastball and you get a changeup, you're out. You're lunging a little bit. Yeah. Your hands are late. Best thing you could do is hit a weak little ground ball to the old second baseman, or you just foul it off, or you swing and miss. And I was just a little late. So I just thought about keeping the weight on the inside part of my right hip as long as I could. And even though I know that I'm pulling left, trying to hit the inside half of the golf ball over the second baseman's head,
So you're feeling more of your body moving. You're not thinking about your hands.
I was thinking about more of my right hip. That was it, And ever since then, it was like second nature. All I've done for the last 15 years is put a ball on top of a tee and swing a driver. Yeah. So
I would have imagined that for a pitcher, you would have a lot of the feel in your right hand. I guess not.
Not for me. It was always about my right hip. Inside part of my
What about when you were pitching? What would you feel when you're doing that?
Dude, my dad was crazy. We're here at 5 years old having like 4-hour T-ball practice for 6 days a week. And there was a reason why we had 3 first-round draft picks on our high school team. My senior season, we had 8 professionals. So everything was second nature, and just everything was in sync. So when you came into the game, like Kyle's hit so many golf balls that his body's just taking over. Yeah. Same thing with Justin James. It becomes second nature. They're in complete control of that 0.9 seconds or whatever it is from when they pull the trigger to where they actually hit that golf ball.
Mm-hmm. So here we got Brian Kelly in slot 1, Garrett Williams, Colton Casto, and Dwight Riddle. And I think Garrett really liked his first ball.
And you can see, once again, Casto is back about a yard because he doesn't want to have that left foot, go into those divots, and that's what I was seeing with Ryan Gregnoll, is that he was up in the box, and his left foot, he's lifting it just a little bit in his takeaway, and then on his downswing, he was stepping into that divot, and if it's not flat, it's going to throw you off. So I'd be curious to see if Gregnoll makes a change where he backs off the tee box a little bit, about a yard.
So my first thought is always to go forward or back. In 2017, in the round of 16 at the World Championship, I was hitting against Tim Burke, and at the time we had those lily pad things where you'd put the tee in, right? And I put mine on the very back of the lily pad, and I lost to Tim Burke by 9 inches. So if I had put it 3 inches forward, we would have been in the playoff, and we would have redone it. It would have been a tie.
That's funny that you say that, because I was up and to the left. I was trying to, and that actually was a trigger for me to try to swing from the inside, because I didn't. If I was coming from the outside, I might have hit that little, like it's only up like 1/8 of an inch, but but you could tee it up higher though. I felt like you were getting all 4 inches of that golf tee.
For sure. But so that's why I always don't want to go back. Not that it usually would matter, but you never know. If it comes down to a playoff, really inches do matter.
Brian Kelly right now at 376, Garrett Williams at 349, Casto at 370, and Dwight Whittle at 374. It is dead. There's no wind right now. And we'll go back to tee boxes. Watch Justin James. It almost looks like he's going to trip over the tee marker or the alignment thing. He's a veteran. He doesn't want to be in the same footsteps as everybody else, so he backs up against the whatever, the Callaway markers.
He's teeing up the ball where most other people have been standing.
Yep. So
I think even though with no wind here, I mean, Colton's obviously not happy right now. A 370 ball for him, even with no wind, is not going to be his best.
No, it should be a 385, 390.
Next on the tee for their third set.
Yeah, that was a close set right there.
Slot 2, Jeremy Dempster.
BK just trucking along, man. BK's just so consistent. So BK is going to be at 400 points now. So Brian Kelly ended up taking down the set at 376, Riddle at 74, Colton at 70, and Garrett Williams at 61.
So as of now, and what we're about to start the third set of this third group, we currently have Chance Olson in first, Hunter, Noel, Colton Casto, Ryan Reese-back. Okay. The numbers are not updated yet, so hold on. That was the first set of the third round. Okay. Got it.
In that last group, Brian Kelly coming in 376 yards, followed by Dwight Riddle, 374. Colton Casto, 370. And Garrett Williams, 361.
Okay, so now we got Chance Olson, Hunter Noel, Brian Kelly, Colton Casto, Ryan Reese-back, Isaiah Joyner, Ryan Gregnoll, and Dwight Riddle as your top 8 currently. Right about halfway through.
On the tee now for their third set, Ryan Winther, Jeremy Dempster, Ryan Reese-back, Isaiah Joyner.
Bobby, what did you see earlier? Because you watched the first two groups. Did you see a certain ball flight that was working well, a couple hitters that stood out to you?
It was really hard to see a lot of golf balls hit. It just going based off of all of the hitters, like the guys that should be in the round of 26 are there. The only surprise was Josh Koch, and Cassidy ended up not making it. And yourself, obviously. I mean, I picked you to win it at the beginning of the day. But Mark Costello, to me, got stronger.
Yeah.
And this grid, based off of what I've seen in previous years back in 17, 18, 19, this grid really sets up nice to Costello. The only thing that concerned me in the beginning with Mark was the fact that, hitting balls in play, which he's never been notorious for hitting a lot of balls in play. He's more of a 1-2 kind of guy. But he got progressively better in set 3, 4, and 5, where he was hitting 3 and 4 balls in play. So someone like Costello that hasn't had too much, grid action here in the past 3 years looked really impressive to me. So I really like seeing Costello out here today hitting balls.
Let me just comment here, because Ryan Winther is doing something I've never seen before, where he's a solid yard behind the tee divider. If we have a down the line shot, well, you can kind of see it there from straight behind him. He's as far back as I've ever seen anybody, and it's got to be to try to get the best footing where he feels comfortable.
Yeah, and it's a guy's he's a world champion. He's got a ton of experience, and like I said, footing is critical. It's not like we're hitting on a platform with turf. So
and for someone like him, if he hits his ball, I don't think he cares about a yard or two. He's expecting to win it by 10 yards.
Yeah.
And right now it's showing. He's in at 410.
Yeah.
Ryan Reese-back is at 371. Jeremy Dempster's at 345. Or no marks yet for Isaiah.
Yeah, and if you do look at slot number 1 a little bit, it almost looks like it goes uphill slightly.
Yeah.
There's a little uphill, and Ryan, the ball's a little bit below his, his feet are below the golf ball, so it's down a little bit in a valley. It might benefit him though. He's at 410 yards, but you said he's a veteran, he's a world champion, and he doesn't care about that 1 yard per se.
No, yeah, not at all. Isaiah Joyner now is on the board with 376. So he's sitting in third. Nope. I think Ryan likes that ball.
And right now, Ryan's at 384, so he's safely in second by 8 yards to Isaiah Joyner. And Winther's a guy, too, that he's a 1 or a 2 out of play guy.
Yeah.
You know? And be interesting to see how he progresses throughout this event as well, because he hasn't competed in a long time. And, fatigue's going to play a factor later on. So I'm going to see, if Kyle starts stepping on the gas now, because the first couple
I would
rounds,
think so.
he's
He's got to be pacing himself for the duration of the day, because he knows he has to go through 2 round robins instead of. So a lot of times this year, it's either been a double elimination or you do 1 round robin, and then how would they just go straight into the shootouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of you have to win it with 14 sets today, you got to win it with 13 14 sets today. Normally it's 13 sets, but with the double elimination round robin, whatever how they had it before, I don't know exactly how many balls you could potentially hit in rounds to win a tournament, because I know that they've mixed it up a few times this year. So and it's nice too. It's not as I'm not going to say monotonous, because I really like the format of 16 to 8, and then last year's World Championships, in my opinion, structure-wise, was the best I've ever seen. And it was nonstop action. You could feel the energy in the crowd. The players were having a good time, and there was no waiting around per se. They stayed hot. And the way they had it before, it was more for like the TV was 1 guy in the tee box back in the day. You had 8 guys, and so much can change in an hour. Just imagine back in the day, you get 3 minutes to hit. Your balls, and you got 8 guys on the tee box waiting. And
the only change that I would like to see is perhaps, and run some numbers on it, but instead of giving the winner 200, then 100, then 50, then 25, I would go 300, 200, 150.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just closing the gap a little bit on some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the round robin. I love the hitting 5 times. I love all of that.
What about instead of 0 points, they get I guess it wouldn't matter as much if you had more points. But if it was a current structure, if you lost like 50 points or 100 points for going OB.
That would be interesting. I think you'd see a lot of guys going up there with a short driver.
Because then you kind of go back to the girls that have to hit 3 balls in play in Japan. Maybe you get penalized for going
killed.
OB.
You get killed. Yeah, if you don't put 3 in play in that format, you're dead.
Yeah. All right, so we got Rocco, Cody Albertson, Kyle Berkshire, and Landon Gentry. And right now, I think Kyle's just, for him, he's probably just wanting to be right around 221, 222, 223 ball speed. And he's still using a 45-inch driver. Yeah, not if that.
But he's probably also thinking that
he likes this one.
We're talking about the 14 sets, but for him it's going to be essentially 14 in a row, because unlike me, where I hit this morning and then I would have a break, he's just going to be kind of going all day. So I would imagine he wants to be ramping up the entire time and not peak early and then get tired.
Well, you're looking at Landon Gentry, who this is this is his slot right here, slot number 4, a true slinger, hits at 402.
Yeah, he started off with 402. That's always a good sign. All right, so we're seeing Kyle here
so Kyle still hasn't put a number on us yet.
We got a couple numbers here for Kyle. That last ball was 223 ball speed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's going to be going left though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spin axis, 40, yeah.
Oh, yep. He liked that ball.
Now, this ball that Kyle has, what scares me about the right side, it's turning back in. Oh, no, that kicked left. Holy cow. I'm going to say, if we know those numbers, Kyle's ball just turned over. High ball to probably about 180 feet in the air. 190. Okay, we got.
Where's? Oh, Yeah,
Yeah,
height of
180.
172 there, but it was still 223 ball speed. I mean,
Yeah.
that thing is gone.
That's not bad with my eyes there, and that was easy ball to see too. That yellow golf ball is
Yeah.
good to see. 431 yards. That seems to be the number for everybody today. Kyle is now tied with Scotty Perriman, and I don't know. I've been announcing for like 6 hours. Someone else went 431 today too, and I don't know who it was.
That was a good ball by Landon. It's going to be going down the left side. If it hangs on,
Next up on the tee, finishing off
As I said, that was the first time we got a reaction out of Kyle, and it is. He's trying to pace himself.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
He knows that he can.
next to start set 4.
I mean, when you say smooth it at 223 miles per hour is just crazy.
Yeah.
But he went 431, one ball in play. You know, I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, so that was an interesting set there. Looks like Kyle took it to 431, Landon at 402, Rocco 378, and Cody Albertson, unfortunately, no marks. Waiting for the numbers to update here, and I'll give you the current top 8.
All right. So Kyle Berkshire with the longest ball of the day, tied for the longest ball of the day. We have 3 guys at 431. Was it Sean Johnson? Who went? I know Scotty Perriman went 431. And someone else.
Yeah, I think
We'll go over it in a second, but Kyle's tied for the longest ball. And his ball flight, he started it out right with a high draw. And it was a tight draw, too.
yeah, when
Maybe
you say a draw, I mean, if
It's
most
tight.
people could see it, it's basically a straight shot that falls a little left
Yeah.
at the end.
Correct.
It's not some big rope hook.
Yeah, no. yeah.
Just because it's crazy speed and it's crazy far, don't get the picture in your mind that it's some
Yeah.
slinger.
No,
It's very straight.
very, very tight.
All right, so we got Chance Olson back up here again. He's been hitting it great today. I think his last set he went 410.
And that's a guy, this is the first time I've seen him hit. I mean, he uses the ground to his advantage. Chance Olson looks great.
All right, so as this set is getting started, your top 8 are currently Chance Olson, so he won his first 2, and he's in slot 2 right now. Then Hunter Noel, Brian Kelly, Ryan Reese-back, Kyle Berkshire, Colton Casto, Ryan Winther, and Isaiah Joyner are your current top 8.
Interesting. All right, Gregnoll ended up not lifting up that left leg. And like I said, it's something that I've seen. I haven't seen him do. And now he's keeping that. It looks like he kept his left foot grounded.
Are those his normal spikes?
Not sure.
They kind of just look like normal shoes. I think they are just normal shoes. Maybe he likes that. Maybe because, I mean, obviously he moves his lead foot quite a bit as he comes through.
All right, so Gregnoll trying to find the grid here.
Recap. So in the first group of the day, first group of 16, we had Scotty Perriman, Martin Borgmeyer, George Haggerty, Scott Littlefield, Cody Billinghurst, Zach Holton, Bryce Verplank, and Munashi. I hope I don't. I'm gonna say it wrong, but Munashi Masawi, and he took the eighth spot. In the second group for the top 8, we had. No, that's right now. In the second group, we had Mark Costello, Brandon Flynn, Sean Johnson, Wes Patterson, Justin James, Reed Russell, Jacob Galladay, and Jeremy Nowak take the top 8, and they'll be moving into this afternoon.
I'd like to see Gregnoll back off the ball just a smidge. It's almost
Get a
like
little
he's
further
jamming.
away?
Yeah, it looks like he's jamming himself.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Is that his full-length driver, you think?
I mean, it looks longer, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks. What, is he hitting an old school Diamante shaft there, or is it an Acra?
It's hard to see from here, but yeah, I agree. It does look like he's a little crowded.
Yeah. And it's a small adjustment like that that's going to make a big difference.
Oh, Hunter loves that ball.
Next up in the D, starting off set 4.
Noel's look good today. He takes down this set. I mean, he's in at 500 points.
A couple of these guys that I don't know very well, Chance Olson, Hunter, Noel, they're looking really good.
Yep. Same thing with like someone like Cody Billinghurst that came in into the amateur division and Hobe Sound at 215 ball speed, and I'm like looking to with Mobley, I'm like, how can you be considered an amateur at ball speeds at 215?
Well, Scotty Pierman had to be close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, he came through and he just dominated the amateurs, right?
Oh yeah. But Hunter Noel, 395, takes down the set. Chance Olson at 392, and like I said, the surprise of Gregnoll going OB, and Kyle Gabbard at 375.
Okay. And that was his third? Yeah. So Ryan Gregnoll, I mean, he's still alive because he won his first set and then had 2 OBs. That's a really unfortunate spot to be in, but he's still alive, and he's got the power where he can easily go win-win.
Mm-hmm. And then, Kyle ended up getting off to a little bit of a slow start with a third and a second, I believe. And then, now he's at 350 points. But
it would have been good to see his ball speed number from the first 2 sets and see if he is ramping up or maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it just looks that way.
Yeah. But yeah, and we said earlier, I think 222, 223 is somewhere where he wants to be, that he knows that he can compete at.
Results from that last group, Hunter Knoll, 300.
Justin James, 431. There we go. All right, so Kyle, Berkshire, Justin James, and Scotty Pierman are at the longest balls of the day at 431 yards. The longest ball of the entire tournament was from Edward, Michael, Joseph, William, Bartholomew, Rancho, Sanchez, Vicario, Conchita, Martinez, Fernandez at 441 yards, who ended up winning the senior division. Eddie with the longest name in all of sport, besides Dikembe Mutombo, and I don't even want to try to announce Dikembe's name. Got Ryan Reese-back, his 11 kids out in the grid, calling balls back.
I think that's why one of them got hit, because there's 11 out there.
I think that last ball just went OB by 50 yards, and he just put up a 395. I'm just kidding. We're just kidding. Ryan's the man. This is, all the lawn drivers love this venue.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, from a sight perspective, you've got some really good targets to be looking at the grid. You got these mountains in the backdrop, and then it's a nice, as of right now, it's a fairly firm grid, so you can get a couple bounces, which is always good.
Look at the base that Chance Olson has. I mean, this kid's swinging out of his shoes right now, but he had to have played baseball. There's no doubt, unless he was like a linebacker or something like that. I mean, you look more like a linebacker than anyone else. I mean, you're almost too big to be a linebacker. You need to drop the 25 pounds.
Oh, that's going to be really close for Landon. If that falls just a little bit left, that one's in for Landon.
How tall?
That one had about
6'2",
probably 6'3".
6'3". Well, you might, the old, Jeremy Shockey or whatever. Be a tight end there. Did you play football?
No, I wrestled.
Okay, that makes sense. In the 115 division.
Yeah, 115. I was at 215 for most of high school.
Okay. Well, it looks like you won. You don't have any cauliflower in your ear.
No, I didn't do that great. I guess it's kind of like golf or maybe baseball in your case, where some kids start so young, and the technique, if you don't do that, you can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to win based off of strength or aggression or something, but they had all the technique.
Chance Olson still in the lead, 417. Brian Kelly at 394. Landon Gentry 383. Ryan Reese-back looking for a number here.
That's another big ball by Chance. That had to be like 230 in the air. 230 feet. That was just a high floater, just going and going. Ooh, big ball by Ryan.
Not a reaction out of Ryan. Did you like it, Ryan?
It's still healing, but it's play.
All right, Ryan said a little heel cut.
I think that fifth ball for Chance might be really big.
And you said Chance is hitting it high, so curious to see these numbers. Brian Kelly's just a machine.
Slot 2, Ryan Winther. Slot 3, Hunter Knoll. Slot 4, Colton Casto. On deck, Jeremy.
So for Ryan, he at least should feel good there. Like his sixth ball, he didn't hit it solid, but he put it in play. He got a number, and that's huge.
Brian Kelly,
Oh.
417.
Wow.
There you go.
Brian
There's a guy
Kelly,
that just
he
gets
is-
everything out of a golf ball.
He does,
Everything.
for sure.
Ryan Reese-back, 392. Gentry, 393. Chance Olson and Brian Kelly are going to chop up 417 if they have the same distances.
I think
but
they're coming back. I think Chance is going to have a bigger ball. I think they're still measuring it off. But yeah, talk about a good set there. Although I'd like to see the totals for Brian Kelly. I mean, he's been averaging 4 in play probably. Oh, 434. Chance Olson coming in at 434. New
Longest
long
ball
ball of the
there.
day.
Yep. So there you go. You have a guy that hit 118 feet in the air at 441, and then you have a guy that hit it 200 plus feet in the
Yeah.
air, and then went three
At
or
least it was
434.
at least 200.
Yeah.
That was a high ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the new longest drive of the day, coming in at 434 yards, Chance Olson,
It'll be interesting to see how Chance
followed by Brian Kelly.
plays later on in this event, like when it gets closer to, the final 8. Because right now, he's just swinging, and he doesn't care who's on the tee box right now, and he's doing extremely well.
That's for sure. Yeah.
You know?
I think that kind of attitude will always suit you well.
Yeah, just hit.
Just get up and
Just
hit
hit.
it.
Just swing.
But
Control
I'll
what
look-
you can control.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Colton here, it'll be interesting to watch Colton because he should naturally have a very similar ball flight to what I just saw Chance do.
And
Earlier it was going a little low and a little left for him, but I think, he'll get it sorted out.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now for their fourth set, Cody Albertson, Ryan Winther, Hunter Knoll, Colton Casto. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
Here we go. Cody Albertson, Ryan Winther, Hunter Noel, and Colton Casto. All right, don't see any in play yet, but we're waiting for numbers back on a couple of them. It looks to me, we were talking about Kyle ramping up. It looks to me like Colton is ramping up, but I think the way he practices is more of an all-out kind of thing. So then when he tones it down, I think he runs into trouble.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah.
Now he can hit 300-400 balls, and I mean he is primed and ready to hit 14 sets if he had to. So yeah, it's like, does he take the approach of like, I'm just gonna do what I practice and go full throttle, or try to slow it down? Because that shaft, like I said, it's 188 CPM. So if you're tuning in, it's like essentially a spaghetti noodle. I mean, I'd be curious to see if I actually watched him hit a tournament where he wasn't allowed to hit anything but like a D60. Something that was like a 270 CPM.
Yeah.
But he's so tuned into the D. Well, now that's a D5.
I wonder if for him, because he's throwing the shot right in on his crab fishing boat, and that's literally a rope, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's used to that kind of feeling, and so if he goes to a stiff shaft, maybe it's.
Then
We're getting
goes
some
for-
inside data here from. Huh. It's a nice high ball there by Hunter, but I think it's going to bounce out left. But he's got that height, and he's put up some big balls with it so far.
Did you get that last ball in, Colton? Did that last ball in? All right, Colton kind of likes his last ball, and I said he's plenty fast enough. I mean, he's another guy that can
Next up on the tee in slot
can
one,
touch
Jeremy
230 ball speed.
Two, Rocco Gonda.
It looked like Ryan was kind of cruising there. He was even watching the clock and being like, do I want to hit this? Right now I'm winning. Maybe I don't even want to hit it.
Kyle Berkshire.
Yeah, and that's the thing with me that we mentioned a little bit ago is that Winther hasn't competed in a long time, and it's really going to be stamina for him because he's plenty strong enough. Colton ended up going OB, and so did Hunter Noel.
Results from that last group, Ryan Winther, 386 yards, followed by Cody Albertson, 380. Hunter Knoll and Colton Casto, both OB, no points.
Chance Olson's looking good. He's got 700 points currently. He's in first, so he's in. Hunter Noel's in. Ryan Winther's in. Brian Kelly's in. Reese-back probably has to take a third or better to get in. You got Kyle coming into his fourth set. Isaiah Joyner right now is at 300 points.
All right, let's see a big one here by Gregnoll.
All right, Gregnoll, let's take a look at his ball flight. Let's key in on Gregnoll.
I like this slot for him.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like he's almost crowding the golf ball. He needs to back off. I mean, when you're talking about backing off, you don't need to back off a ton, maybe a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Get a little more room for your arms to move through.
Like I would say, I would line up a little bit more off the toe. Just start off, lining up the ball instead of, in the middle of the face.
He's one of those guys, he's going to come in with the speed that he needs, but it's just a matter of kind of putting it together, hitting the shot, and keeping him in play.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 100% jamming himself in baseball terms. If I was him, I'd try to hit a cut. I really would. I would try to hit a cut because right now he's turning it over.
It's so counterintuitive, though, because you say he's jamming it, but the shots are going left. So I would think if I'm jammed, it's going to stay out right. Mm-hmm. But that's not. His
toes shut at impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets jammed and then flips.
Yeah, he's like if you crowd it, that happens to me a lot. Like especially when I'm hitting my irons. If I back off the golf ball, then
Okay, there we go. That's got to turn maybe just a little bit more in case it bounces, but that could be a big ball.
Yeah, and we're looking at numbers right now. Like for Gregnoll, he just needs to put one in play.
Yeah, if that one is in play, he's going to be in the first position for this set. As we're waiting for a number, currently Rocco is at 372, Dwight Riddle is at 359, and Jeremy Dempster at 345.
I mean, Gregnoll's same. It's doing the same thing. His face is shut at impact. Like I said, like psychologically, try to hit a cut. So like that face stays open a little bit longer.
You're turning a little bit better.
422
there
Ryan
we go.
Gregnoll.
Yeah.
I mean,
see, no problem.
Yeah.
But you just have to. He's got to make the little fix out there that will allow him to do that more often. Because obviously, going 422, he's got the speed to be there.
Jeremy Dempster, Cody Albertson, Chance Olson, and Garrett Williams.
So that puts Gregnoll in at 400 points after 4 sets.
He's at 400 now?
Yeah,
okay.
2 wins and 2 OBs.
Okay.
Okay, so the 5th ball there by Rocco Gondek went 404. So he ended up taking second behind Ryan Gregnoll at 422. Dwight Riddle took 50 points with 389, and Jeremy Dempster, 345, took 25 points.
Ryan Gregnoll, 422 yards, followed by Rocco Gondek.
And so the wind really hasn't picked up, but we're seeing some balls stretch out into those, longest shots. We had the 434, I believe it was, and then right there, Ryan went 422. So I think people are getting a little ramped up here.
Yeah. All right, so we got the 2-time world champ, world number 1, fastest man on the planet, fastest man alive, the fastest to ever do it, Kyle Berkshire here in slot. Number 4, and it'd be interesting to ask him, what his thought process was, especially the first couple sets. I know he doesn't want to be at 350 points after 3 sets. I can tell you that. I mean, Kyle's the type of kid that wants to win every single set, but like I said, this is a marathon. This won't be like the World Championships. There's going to be plenty of time at the World Championships.
I was told that I believe this is an LD20 that he's hitting.
Got it. That's not something that he has used. Has he used this in competition as of yet?
I'm not sure. He was using the 30 plus for a long time.
Yeah. And like I said, the LD20, that's not it's not an LD20. Is it just a D20?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a D20 or an LD20. Is it an LD20 plus?
I don't think it's. I think it's just a D20. So he's
Okay.
actually using a Taurus Series shaft that's raw, uncut.
It's a good swing by Isaiah there in the 3rd slot. I'm going to guess that that ball by Isaiah was in, the way he's looking at it. We don't have a number yet on the board, but they might be measuring it. So currently Kyle Gabbard put his first 2 in. He's leading at 384. Garrett Williams is at 375. We don't have marks yet for the other guys, Kyle and Isaiah.
Let's take a peek if I can see Kyle's golf ball. I couldn't see it.
High and left. Started kind of left center and fell out left. It's interesting if you look over at Kyle, he takes such a narrow stance. It's almost like when Colton is lining up before Colton steps.
Yep.
It's probably the narrowest stance you'll see in long drive.
This ball is right down the right side now. If it turns over a little bit, this one's going to stay in play. I actually was able to see that one. This was hugging down the right side. Good ball from Kyle. That was 154. Don't know if that one stayed in play or not. The wind has picked up significantly in the last 20 seconds. If Kyle connects on one, then you could see a 450-yard drive here. This one's right down the middle. Kyle might have hit a little skinny, but that one's right down the middle. Skinny, and I said it, right? 216, it looks skinny. But the good thing is that was a good descent angle, and the ground's hard, so I wouldn't be surprised even on a miss hit.
And the way the grid is set up, he might have landed on that. There's a bit of a downslope around 400.
Yeah.
Winther, Kyle Gabbard, and
So Kyle needed to hit that ball in play. He was OB on his first 5 balls, but like I said, hit it skinny. And
there we go.
Right now he needs to take 422. So Kyle ended up going 422 on a miss hit. I mean, to watch him hit a golf ball 216, that doesn't happen very often. So like I said, hit a little skinny, and it might be something, like I said, it's something that he's working on with the D20, and knowing that the D20 is a little bit softer, he's playing the long game now, as far as like trying to conserve his energy, period, at the end of the day. So, and I'm gonna say we're gonna see a farther ball right now. If this wind stays like it is, and
Yeah, it really just picked up in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Kyle ended up on the last ball going 422 yards. Kyle Gabbard ended up going 397. Garrett Williams at 375, and Isaiah General OB.
122 yards. Ball by Kyle Gabbard.
So Kyle is at 550 points, so he's in.
75. Isaiah Joyner, OB, no points.
I'd like to see if Chance Olson, if he hits the ball like he did last set, just based off of if he hits the same exact ball, he's going to hit it 450 yards.
Yeah.
Chance Olson, Garrett Williams. Gentlemen,
He's got that kind of perfect high floater.
Yeah. Wow. I wish you could just hit the yellow ball the whole time. I can track that one.
Yeah, that one.
We're going to key in on Chance Olson on this one. He's been impressive. It's the first time I've seen him. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
That ball is gone.
Yep.
That's going to be the longest ball of the day. I mean, unless he didn't hit it good.
My only concern is the left side is a little shaggier.
Okay. They're going back. Yeah, and say that last ball that he hit, the descent angle, 46, 47 probably, if I had to guess. Kind of fell out of the sky a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more of a plateau.
Can you tell what he's hitting? Is that a D20 again also?
I don't know.
See, that was the height of the
He's
one.
hitting it looks like he's hitting an Acura. I mean, or maybe it is a Patterson. I'm not sure. No, he's hitting a Patterson. He's hitting
All
a
right, so
Patterson.
he came in at 400 on that ball.
I didn't like the descent angle on the golf ball at all. I mean, like I said, it kind of fell out of the sky. And I said I didn't like it, and he still had it 400 yards.
Yeah, so he's leading the set at 400, followed by Cody at 386.
This one's about 220 feet in the air. It's floating down the right side. It's drifting just a tad. It doesn't look like the wind's pushing it back. Landing now. Wow, that right side is hot. I just watched that orange ball just keep bouncing.
Yeah, I think if you're carrying it anywhere from 360 to 400, you can get a big bounce. But if, especially later in the day, as it's carrying further, then it becomes much flatter.
And the wind has died down. So we had a nice little gust for about 3-4 minutes, and now it's gone.
Well, there's a really high ball by Cody. I think it's going to come down too steep.
Yeah.
But
And this started a little too far left. Chance Olson looked great.
On the tee for their fifth and final set. In slot 1, Ryan Winther. Slot 2, Rocco Gondek. Slot 3, Kyle Gabbard.
all right, this is
Slot
the
4,
start of the
Brian
fifth and
Kelly.
final set.
On deck, Hunter Knoll, Dwight Riddle, Isaiah Joyner, and Landon Gentry.
Chance Olson ended up winning the set at 400, so he's going to have 900 points. He'll be the leader in the clubhouse in this group of 16 hitters.
Followed by Cody Albertson, 386. Garrett Williams, 373. And Jeremy Dempster, 353. Guys hitting on the range, I know it's tight out there, but let's make sure you're aiming left, way left of the big tree out there. We want to keep our grid workers safe. We've already had somebody get hit earlier today. Make sure you aim left.
So guys that are in right now, Chance Olson, Hunter Noel, Kyle Berkshire, Ryan Winther, and Brian Kelly. Those guys are guaranteed to be in. They're
How
in.
impressive is that? Chance Olson comes out 900 points in his first one.
Yeah. He didn't care who was on the tee box. He just swung as hard as he could.
And it worked out.
It did. It did. And he was in control of himself, too. He had a nice little pre-shot setup. He'd hit his golf ball. He'd walk back. He'd line up the shot. And, he really took his time.
Yeah, like you said, it'd be good to know his background. What kind of sports? What has he done?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now for their fifth and final set. Ryan Winther, Rocco Gondek,
All right, let's watch Ryan Winther here. He's one of those fun ones to watch because you never exactly know what's going to come up. You know he's going to swing hard, but that's about it.
And curious to see if he backs off it, but knowing Ryan, probably not. As we always say, he'll probably try to dislocate his shoulders and his kneecaps. He swings so hard.
How many points does he have right now? He's in, yeah?
He's in. Yeah,
Okay.
Winther's in. Winther's got 525 points.
Okay, yeah.
And like I said, BK's just in a rhythm. So.
Again, you're going to see a lot of good strikes by Brian Kelly here. Whether they stay in, bounce out, it's going to be really close. He's not the kind of guy that misses 30 degrees right or left.
No, he's at 394 to start off. Kyle Gabbard, 388. Rocco, 348. Winther's just working on a mark.
So what do you think the mindset is for someone like Ryan Winther? He's obviously the kind of person, if he puts one in, it's going to be a good one, and that's all that matters. So does it not bother him if he's 4 or 5 in and he still doesn't have a mark? Does he just continue as normal?
I mean, he's already in, so I'm just curious, like, if he's trying to conserve energy, but it doesn't look like it. Who knows what he's thinking? You know, he hasn't. I mean, honestly, he hasn't been out and competed in a long time, but like it's just like riding a bike for him. I mean, he's obviously,
And he's got $3.99 here.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be leading the set.
He's just letting it rip. I mean, he's always been that type of hitter. He stands up and he literally swings as hard as he possibly can.
So it probably doesn't even like process. He's probably just there hitting, and if he doesn't have one in play, well, he's just going to keep doing the same thing.
Anything, yeah. Swing hard, ball go far. That's keep it simple. It really truly. And his ball, like he hits a flat, hard cut. I mean, just that. I mean, he at one point he was the fastest guy on the planet. And then for him, it was just, his dispersion was like, could he tighten it up left to right?
That's a pretty good ball. It sounded like a little bit of a miss hit, but it's straight down the middle. So
yeah.
You never really know. On a straight down the middle ball, it could get a bounce. It could hit a hard spot.
And you're looking at numbers like Kyle hit it skinny at 216 mile per hour ball speed and went 422.
Yeah, exactly.
And his ball was, I mean, maybe 120, 130 feet in the air. It was low. As of right now, Ryan Winther is going to take down the set at 399 unless Kyle Gabbard and Rocco improve.
Ryan Gregnoll, Colton Casto, Ryan Reese-back, and Kyle Berkshire.
So again, to recap, we're now in the 5th set of this third group of 16, and this group of 16, like the other two, are getting cut down to the top 8. So the top 24 will be competing later.
We're going to take a peek. Colton Casto's in the bubble as of right now at 350 points. He's in 8th place. 8th place in Group 1 was 475. In 8th place in Group 2 was 500.
Well, what does Colton have right now?
350.
Okay.
Waiting for it to update here. Isaiah Joyner, if he wins, he'd have 500 points. If Dwight Riddle wins, he would be at 450. Landon Gentry, he still has an outside chance. Gentry's at 200.
Okay. Yeah, one of the exciting things about this round robin format is you never really know. You know if you get a couple wins, you're probably safe. But right around that bubble number, it can be so different. If you have a couple people, one get like 1,000, one get 900. Then the qualifying number can actually be pretty low.
I mean, technically, if the guys that are 9th and to 16th go OB, Colton Casto could get in at 350.
Yeah.
I've seen guys get in at 375. I've never seen it 350 before.
Last year at Worlds, Wes Patterson advanced.
375.
Was it 375?
Yep. Big set for Landon Gentry because they said he could technically get in at 400 points. So he wins this set, he will put Colton Casto out with still one set to go.
It's so hard to see that blue ball, but I think that could be a number to start.
And Landon went 402 in this set earlier in this slot.
Yeah, the ball for Landon is just starting a little too far right to come back. So for him, like, you were mentioning Ryan was a little too close. To me, it looks like Landon has the ball a little too far back in his stance. Mm-hmm. And then it's pushing it out right.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter's getting amped up. He's been excited all day, though.
He's young. He's got a ton of energy. Hits it high, too. Still working on a number for Landon Gentry. And it's tough for guys like Landon and Ryan. They're getting here at 5 in the morning. They're setting up the grid. They're doing a bunch of things. Being owners, it's not that easy to sit there and compete and run a business at the same time.
All right, if that stays, Hunter just crushed it.
Dwight Riddle at 402.
Wow.
This is a big set for Riddle as well. Because if Riddle wins, he would have 450. So if Riddle takes down the set, he would have 450.
Okay.
Landon Gentry just takes the lead at 406.
There we go.
So Landon Gentry would put Colton Casto on the bubble.
You said Landon's
Out.
he's
He's
at
at
250 right
200.
now?
He's at 200.
Okay.
So if Riddle wins the set, he'll have 450. So
All right, last ball for Landon. And the fifth, and Dwight's hitting a 6 right now, so it's anybody's set.
the wind picked up the last.
Hunter
two
just
balls.
gave the wave. That you never know when you see the wave.
So right
and the
now,
wind
like
picks up.
Landon Gentry could potentially be knocked out on this last ball here by Hunter Noel because Landon needs the win in order to have 400 points.
Coming up now, the final group. In slot 1, Ryan Gregnoll. In slot 2, Colton Casto. Slot 3, Ryan Reese-back. Slot 4, Kyle Berkshire.
Hunter Noel ended up hitting at 395 in the ball that he last hit. So Landon Gentry had to win. He won. Now he's on the bubble at 400. The only person that could potentially knock him out is Colton Casto. So if Casto takes second place, he's in. And then Gentry would be out. So so Colton Casto needs to take at least third place in order to tie at 400 points.
406 yards, followed by Dwight Riddle, 402. Hunter Knoll, 395. Isaiah Joyner,
So where is Gregnoll at? Gregnoll is... Gregnoll's at 400 as well. Okay. So Gregnoll needs to just put...
So we got
a
a lot
ball
of,
in
a lot
play.
of opportunities here.
All right. If Gregnoll puts a ball in play, he's at 425. If Casto comes in second, he needs to come in second, not to be tied with Landon Gentry.
Yep.
So right now, Gregnoll just needs to put a ball in play because he's in. Even Reese-back. So you're going to look at a bubble number being like 400.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly, 400. Yep.
Little different. So Kyle going to be featured here again in slot 4. And he said still sticking with the D20. And he's putting the ball back just a smidgen on the tee box as well, just for footing.
All right, this is the final set, final group of this preliminary 48.
So Colton Casto has to take third or better in order to be on the bubble with Landon Gentry. If he takes second or better, then he's in. And
Good start by Ryan.
Gregnoll just needs to put a ball in play.
How many points does Ryan have right now? So he's in 6th. Reese-back. So
Reese-back's at 425. He's in.
Okay.
He's in. Well, you know what? Yeah, he's in. He's in because, Gregnoll's at 400.
I think he's in, yeah, no matter what. All right, so we currently have 397 for Ryan. No marks on the board yet. 390.
Yes, all right. So if Ryan takes 4th place, he'll have 450. If Gregnoll takes 3rd place, he'll have 450. Casto comes in second.
The big thing here is Colton getting a ball in.
Yes, he has to get a ball in play.
And he currently has 3 balls that he's hit, and he does not have one in play. Man, you feel bad watching it because you know what's going on in his head right now. He's so frustrated just looking over at Colton.
Yeah. And said Gregnoll doesn't have a number on up as well. But if Casto goes OB, then Gregnoll's going to get in, and so is Reese-back.
Yeah, so Kyle improved by a yard, but he's still 2 yards behind Ryan Reese-back. Okay, there's a number. Colton Casto, 398.
It's a huge number for him right now. I mean, he had to put a ball on the board. So now Landon Gentry is on the bubble right now. So Casto's in the lead.
Is he tied with Gregnoll right now?
Yes.
Okay.
And Gregnoll just needs to hit a ball. Gregnoll doesn't even necessarily have to put a ball in play.
But if he does, any advances?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Because there was a possibility of Gregnoll, Reese-back, and Casto all tying at 450 points. Like I said, Kyle just is on autopilot right now.
Okay, Gregnoll got a mark at 375. So he's moving on.
Everybody's in. So
Yeah.
Casto, Casto's
So
in.
unfortunately, then Landon got bumped, and he
Mhm.
took the 9th spot.
So Chance Olson takes down this group of hitters. So it's Chance, Ryan, Winther, Hunter Noel, Brian Kelly, Kyle Berkshire, Ryan Reese-back, Ryan Gregnoll, and Colton Casto. Colton Casto ended up taking down the set at 414 yards. And like I said, these guys, I mean, the guy that was on the bubble was Colton, and he ended up winning the set.
How about that set for Ryan? 5 balls in. His worst one was 378. His best was 397.
Round of 24 is set. We're going to have a little bit of a break, but now we're going to have 2 groups of 12 hitters that go down to 6 in each group, so they'll have 12 hitters in the final 12 per se. And then it's single elimination. They're going to have 4 groups of 3 hitters. They're going to take 2 out of the 3 guys in the round of 12. Will get us down to the quarterfinals.
So, yeah, we'll have a little break, but there's a lot more action coming up today.
But once again, Chance Olson, Ryan Winther, Hunter Noel, Kyle Berkshire, Brian Kelly, Colton Casto, Ryan Reese-back, and Ryan Gregnoll will advance. And it just goes to show you right there, Ryan Gregnoll had 2 wins and 2 OBs and still got in. So, and
moving on to the final 24. In first place with 900 points, Chance Olson. In second with 725 points, Ryan Winther. In third with 650 points, Hunter Knoll. Tied for fourth with 600 points, Kyle Berkshire and Brian Kelly. In sixth with 550, Colton Casto. In seventh with 525, Ryan Reese-back. And the 8th player moving on with 425 points is Ryan Gregnoll.
Yeah, it'll be good to see Chance Olson in these later rounds. See what he
Ladies
does.
and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break while we take all 24 players, reseed them, and set up the next 2 groups.
All right, so yeah, to recap, we just finished up the first 48. We cut it down to 24. We'll have a little break, and they will go at it again.
my back's tight. All right. We'll be back right after this.
All right, so that's it for the first 3 groups. We're going to bring them back around to 24 here in a few minutes. I'm going to shut it down, and we're going to bring it back as soon as we get ready to get started. So stick around.